And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, December 13th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome Wednesday morning, and we're glad to have you with us. We are ready to talk about Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Bob McDonald's with us. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
Good. I'm doing great, and you and I were talking off air. It's a little chilly again this morning, not as bad as it was yesterday, but looks like this cold weather set in for a couple months, right?
That's kind of the way it happens about this time every year, and you get out that big overcoat and stay warm, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I brought it out this week. It's the first time I've been wearing it, and I couldn't put it off any longer. So, yeah, I've got that big overcoat. Hopefully I'll get there in person next week, and you can see it and laugh at me and give me a hard time.
Well, I'm kind of in your boat too. I'm cold-natured, and I don't like the cold weather any more than you do. But we need to talk about Cedarstone Bank. We always say simple banking, simply better, and that's kind of the way it's been since you began, though, many years ago.
Indeed, it is. That's been our motto from day one, and it fits us, and it continues to work with us because it does define us. We say that, financial situations with either families or businesses can be complicated at times, but it doesn't mean that the solutions have to be. So we try to keep things straightforward and simple and easy to navigate, and that's been working for us. And so that we continue to feel like that slogan represents who we are and how we go about providing banking services.
Well, you've mentioned this before, but it's been a good year at Cedarstone, and it's kind of wrapping up now. I guess we're in our last 3 weeks of the month of December and of the year, and you're looking forward to 2024, no doubt.
That is exactly right. It has been a busy month, as it is each year. We start wrapping up the business of the bank for the year, and we had 2 bank board committee meetings last week. We have one today, and then our final board meeting for the year, Coleman, will be next Tuesday. And so we'll be reporting on what our strategies and business plans are for the new year. We've been discussing those in board meetings since August, and so we'll be finalizing those plans next week. And the board's been very engaged, and we're expecting to have another good year next year, Coleman.
Well, how much is of your plans are speculation on what the Fed's going to do about interest rates?
Yeah, I tell you, that continues to be such a moving target, Coleman. You and I talk about this a lot, but again, you can talk to all the economists you want. Half are going to tell you that we're going to fall into a slight recession. Some will tell you that we're going to continue down a very strong path. Some will tell you the Fed is through increasing rates. Some will tell you that there's one more in there. So we just don't know. Our plan, Coleman, calls for a interest rate environment much like we see right now. And so we're predicting rates to stay the same, not really go up and not really come down. We feel like that's a good place to be. That way, if rates move in either direction, that we'll be in a good place. So we're expecting the environment to be much the same for next year as we've seen the last 6 months.
And as far as maybe projecting what business is going to be like for the next year, that look good right now?
It does look good. We talked this year, 2023 has been a very, very good year. We've had more loan growth in all loan categories this year than we've had in any of our 19 previous years. So it's been a very good year in terms of loaning money and gathering deposits. I don't think we're going to see quite that level of growth, but we're still expecting it to be a very healthy year.
Well, one of the best things I think you've ever done is to have that Simply Better free checking account. Such a great way to get a relationship started, and there's nothing like a good free checking account.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's just an example of how we make banking simple. We don't have a long list of different types of checking accounts because that can be complicated. We like to keep that simple, and our Simply Free checking account is that. It's free checks if you still want to write checks. And if you want to use our technology, which Coleman is second to none, you can do your banking electronically, whether it be by the phone or on your computer or on your mobile phone. You can make deposits. So it's there and is available for anyone, however they want to do their banking.
Well, that is right. And one other thing about going into the bank is the fact that if you're looking for some Lions Club pecans, you've got, I hope, plenty of those. I'm going to check with Brenda today to see if you need any more. And you do have some of those chocolate pecans available there at Cedar Stone in Lebanon.
Yeah, we're proud to be a part of that. We thank you for letting us be a part of it. And it's always a sign of the season when I see you come in with a big box of pecans on your shoulder. I know that we're getting into the holiday season.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for doing that. It really helps us. And, of course, thanks for being with us every Wednesday here. And next year, we didn't mention this, but your 20-year celebration, isn't it?
That's right. Comes up next April. Will be our 20th anniversary, and we're putting plans together for how we're going to celebrate that big day.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. We'll do it again next Wednesday.
Thank you, Coleman.
Bob McDonald, President, CEO, Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson Simple Banking, simply better. 10:30 after the hour. This is the Wednesday we feature Cumberland University. Rusty Richardson is here this morning. Rusty, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Rusty is the Executive Director of Community Relations and External Affairs. One of these days I'm going to have that memorized and not have to read it off the sheet you give me each day. But that's a nice, healthy title. It means you do a lot.
Well, there are times I forget how to say it as well, so don't feel bad.
Well, you have a guest that you have brought with us today, and you can introduce her at whichever point you'd like. But I think you and I have got a lot to talk about in the beginning here.
We've got a lot to talk about. We'll go through very quickly. We're happy that our fall semester has come to a close. The students had their finals last week, and the vast majority departed then as soon as those finals were over. So, but it was a great semester. In just a moment, I'll hit some of the highlights of that. There was always something going on. Every single week there were activities, there were events, and we're so proud of that in our 181 years. That was probably our most successful fall semester ever.
Really?
You look at so many things, and now as the students have gone home for the holidays, they have a nice break. There will be some students that are enrolled in a winter term that starts this week and then goes through mid-January, and then the students come back the middle part of January. But when they come back, we'll have a nice surprise for them, and that's a new parking area on campus. We're using as a temporary parking location our property on the corner of South Greenwood and Leeville Pike to add about 100 parking spaces. So as you and I have talked before, parking is always at a premium at Cumberland, and this will help alleviate part of that for the students coming back in the spring.
Well, I'm sure everybody that's hearing that is glad to know that because, yes, you do need more parking space.
Yes, absolutely. This time of year, so many times when you open a newspaper or magazine, you start seeing top 10 lists of the big things that have happened over the last year. I've narrowed down our list to just things that happened in the fall. I've got 9 on my list, and then Katie will add some more to that. But certainly, we're so proud of the record-breaking enrollment. First time over 3,000 students. Mm-hmm. We started the fall with 3,072. We have, thanks to the generosity of some donors, renovated science labs. We have 2 new endowed professorships that were awarded this year. We had an inaugural nursing camp where students in high school could come in for a day and walk through what our nursing students go through and see from a practical standpoint, this is what the nursing profession involves. So then we're already seeing applicants for our nursing program coming out of that nursing camp. And one of the things that we're so proud of, the idea for that camp originated with one of the nursing students.
Really?
So we're very proud that she came up with the idea and saw that to fruition. Of course, during homecoming, we had the Oliver Steele concert, who made it to the top 6 or 8 of American Idol. That was a highlight, followed up by the Narcos event in October, November with Steve Murphy and Javier Pena that were in the Netflix series, or about the Netflix series Narcos. The scholarship dinner, where we had donors who had given money for scholarships actually have dinner with the scholarship recipients. So form a connection there. The annual colloquium was a huge success again. And in Board of Trust news, there are some new board members, and the board actually decided to expand the board a bit and added 3 more members. We may talk about them next time. But all of these highlights can be found in the Phoenix Rising magazine, which just hit the streets this week. People should be receiving those in their mailboxes. It'll also have an online version so people can read more about all of these activities. And it's such a great publication. Our communication and marketing department, headed by Joey Clark, just does a fantastic job on that magazine. And I think it's one of the best ones they've ever produced. So if you haven't received yours yet, be looking for it or go online. You can see the online version.
Well, I got mine. It looks great.
It looks great.
In fact, I've read it from cover to cover.
Terrific.
All right. Katie Wolf is with us, and let me just say good morning.
Yes, good morning, Coleman.
And tell you that it's time for us to take a break. So, Katie, you're up next, okay?
Perfect.
All right. And a break here on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's starting to load up pretty good now as we check it out live over here near the airport. It's that traffic builds to Hermitage Donaldson on 40 westbound coming in from Wilson County. Really heavy traffic flow on 24 westbound up through Smyrna and Laverne coming in from Rutherford County. Not too bad right now through Brentwood Franklin on 65 north. A little bit slow southbound 65 over here at Trinity Lane. Princess Hot Chicken, they're catering through the holiday season. Check them out online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedar Stone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville. Cedar Stone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Beginning Monday, December 4th, Walker Auction and Realty presents an online auction featuring great merchandise from the Bates Ford moving sale. The auction includes antiques and memorabilia, as well as lifts, racks, shop tools, tires, furniture, shelving, and much more. For more information or to bid on the Bates Ford online moving sale, visit MikeWalkerAuctions.com. We continue here on this Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us. Featuring Cumberland University. We do this once a month. It's always nice to have Rusty Richardson. Is the Executive Director of Community Relations and External Affairs. We pretty much heard from Rusty this morning, although he'll get some closing remarks here in a moment. But Katie Wolf is here, Director of Annual Giving, and it is now your turn. So what do you got for us?
Perfect, Coleman. Well, thank you again. It's so nice to be back with you guys. I always enjoy my time here and to speak to a fellow alum. It's always incredible. So at Cumberland, as Rusty sort of talked about before, things are busy and we've done a lot. And I think at the end of the year, we sort of get the opportunity to reflect on all of those major milestones and accomplishments. And so I just wanted to give you sort of some updates on what's going on in the advancement world and what all we're doing. So we actually had the opportunity the week of Thanksgiving to sort of give back to our students in a unique way. So we had alumni, we had parents, we had faculty, staff, board members, churches, and just our Cumberland family come together and provide meals the week of Thanksgiving for our students who were still on campus. A lot of our students can't go home, for the holidays. And so it was such a unique thing to see all of these people giving back and providing food for them to take back to their dorms and inviting them with their families to go and have a meal. And so I know you hear this all the time. We live in a very blessed community, and it's amazing to see that sort of participation. And
some of these are from other countries outside the United States, right?
Absolutely. And we have a lot of international students. I mean, we have almost 50 countries represented at Cumberland. And so, a lot of these students have to stay on campus. And we are opening this opportunity up during this holiday season, during the Christmas holiday. And so if any of your listeners want to participate, whether they want to provide a meal or just drop off snacks and food, please contact us at advancement@cumberland.edu.
Well, thinking about this, Thanksgiving is just a long weekend. Maybe you talk about 2 or 3 or 4 days or something. Right now, the Christmas time, it's a much longer period of time. And if they can't go home, can't go out of the country, they could use some help.
Absolutely. And our cafeteria is closed during this time, and that is a resource that they often rely on for meals. And so this just gives them another opportunity.
Well, no doubt a lot of people already do this, but for those who might like to, what's the easiest way to make a contact or to let you know that, let Cumberland know that they're available to help?
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you know someone at Cumberland, definitely reach out and they'll get you in the right section. But if you want to email advancement@cumberland.edu or call us at 615-547-1269, we'll help you out.
Okay. What else?
Yeah, so just wanted to give a brief update on our Phoenix Foundation. So our Phoenix Foundation is a umbrella to help support our athletes and our athletic organizations. And so I just wanted to take the time to thank all of our donors who have really stepped up and have said, this is a priority at Cumberland. We want to help support them. And we have many events coming up that are a part of this, and we just want the community to get involved in it. Our community are open to any athletic event we have, and so many of them participate and come and cheer on our students, and we love to see that. We have our baseball annual dinner and auction coming up on January 18th. At 6 p.m., and it will be in Alumni Hall. And that's a beautiful way to help support our baseball team. And tickets are $25 per person. And if anyone has any questions or anything, you can contact Coach Ryan Hunt or Coach Pat Bell. And those are the two heading up that event.
Well, we never know just exactly how it's all going to turn out. That's why we play the games. But the indication is they had a good year last year. And that picking up from last year, we're going to build on that and maybe have a great end of the season.
That's right. We hope so.
We're hopeful, yes.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
And then next we have our Phoenix Society Luncheon. So we had that a few weeks ago. And the Phoenix Society is relaunched, and it is essentially a group of people who are interested in leaving a legacy at Cumberland. So these are folks who are interested in learning more about leaving Cumberland University in their estates and their wills. And so sometimes it's tricky to sort of think about that and plan that out. And so we have a group of people who are there to help. And sort of answer questions for people that might want to pay it forward. And it was amazing to see all the people that came out. We had about 20 folks who were interested in that, and we're hoping to grow this group. And what a unique opportunity it is at Cumberland to be able to do that.
I have to say, Cumberland is making great use of the Phoenix.
We love it.
You wouldn't disagree, right?
I would not disagree with that. You hear that term a lot.
Yeah. And it seems like that's happened more here of late. We hear about the Phoenix rising. Of course, it's the Cumberland Phoenix now, not the Bulldogs. So that's probably changed it a little bit as well.
It has.
What else you got for us, Katie?
So the last thing I have on my update is, as we sort of roll into the end of the year, we often reflect on, our accomplishments and everything that we've done for the year. And we're using this sort of last week of the year to sort of celebrate our students and our donors, and we are having our giving week. So the end of year giving is usually one of the biggest pieces of our year. And we're just so grateful to have so many different areas that our donors can support, whether it be our academic schools, our athletics, the Rise Together annual giving appeal, campus renovations, scholarships, so many things. And our students are the beneficiaries of that, absolutely. And to see them, receive these types of gifts, whether it be scholarships or a new building, I mean, it really makes their experience so much better.
Well, there's no doubt Cumberland is on the move. You have acquired some property to expand a little bit. You've got this parking lot that you were talking about, the record enrollment, and you're probably looking for another record enrollment next year. It's all very positive right now, and of course, I guess any week could be giving week, but this is a special giving week. Right?
It is. And like I said, we have one of our biggest times is end of the year. People are looking at, their finances and they're feeling very philanthropic, and it's just a beautiful time to celebrate that.
Yeah, and of course, I know a lot of businesses, the end of the year here, you do things maybe for tax purposes, and a donation to Cumberland might benefit you tax-wise. It's something to think about.
Yes, and we are a nonprofit, so.
All right. Is that about take care of it for you, Katie?
I think that's it.
Rusty, that's it. With about 4 minutes to go, back to you this morning.
All right, thanks. Well, I certainly want to congratulate the women's soccer team for their outstanding season. They made it to the round of 16 in the national tournament. Lost in a heartbreaking game, 1-0 in that round of 16. But a great season. They finished 16-2-3, and the team that won
they only lost 2 and had 3 ties.
Exactly.
Okay.
The team that actually won the national championship was the University of the Cumberlands, and our Cumberland team beat them in the conference championship. So they were so close, but just so proud of those women. Mm-hmm. Of course, all the winter sports are going on right now. Basketball, both men's and women's. The men's volleyball will be kicking off. So there's always so many events going on, as we mentioned earlier. And if people are interested in attending those games, simply go to the website and go to the athletic section. There's a complete schedule of all those activities that are going on literally every week of the year. So we encourage people to come out and support the Phoenix in that way. As far as upcoming events, Katie already mentioned the baseball dinner and auction on January 18th, but on February 10th we have the Notes to Nurses, which is coming back after having to go on the back burner during COVID. Tickets for that are available, and just go to notesfornurses.com and people can buy that. It's a great program supporting the nursing program.
Could you expound on exactly what that is?
Yes, it's a dinner and entertainment. We have a band that will be performing. The band that will be performing is called Soul Incision. And what's unique about this band, they're very talented musicians, but every single member of the band is a medical professional.
Oh, really?
Surgeons, doctors, nurses. So it's a great event. We will have a live auction at that event. It's much less formal than the Phoenix Ball, but it's just a great way to support the nursing program at Cumberland.
And they are playing the musical notes to help fund the nurses.
Absolutely. That's correct.
That title you have to think about sometimes. What does this mean? Note. A note is something you can write a little note to somebody.
Well, and many nurses.
A note of music. I don't know what else you can make a whatever.
And of course, many nurses are so used to writing in charts and writing those notes that it serves kind of a dual purpose.
Yeah. I don't know who came up with that, but I don't think it could be improved on. That's got to be a great title for this kind of event.
Absolutely. We're so looking forward to that and hope for a big turnout. The last thing I would share, and I've shared this before on our December visit, but I like to call attention that the same year that Cumberland received its charter from the state of Tennessee, which was actually a year after it started its existence, there was something else that happened in history, and that was a little book was published in England And the author talked about it having a ghost of an idea to bring merriment back to Christmas. And that book was A Christmas Carol.
By Charles Dickens.
By Charles Dickens, and it talked about the transformation of Ebenezer Scrooge from that miserly old man to a new character. And it ended the book with, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man possessed such knowledge. And of course, the final quote by Tiny Tim, and God bless us everyone.
Yeah.
We want to wish your listeners and everyone that supports Cumberland a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday. May they keep that spirit well as we transform students, not necessarily from being Scrooges, but from being, high school graduates to college graduates. So just wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. And Rusty, we appreciate what you do each month for us here. And Katie, it's really good to have you with us today. Hope that you have a great giving week as well as all the other success that you're due.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next year.
All right.
And
Thanks, Coleman.
that is part one of Coleman and Company, but we've got more, and we hope you'll keep it right here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot. Write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Really starting to slow down now through the Madison area on 65 going southbound down towards Trinity Lane. There's still several roads and streets that are blocked in Madison throughout Sumner County as well. In Hendersonville from the tornado damage cleanup. It's really busy down through Millersville on 65 southbound. Heavy traffic continues now on 24 westbound coming out of Rutherford County, Murfreesboro towards Nashville. Prince's Hot Chicken is hiring in all 4 locations. You can order online anytime today at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
Are you facing a challenging time that you need help navigating? Well, look no further than your local law firm of Kane & Crowell. At the offices of Kane & Crowell, our team of experienced attorneys is here to guide you through every step of the process. With a proven track record of success and a commitment to our clients and our community, look no further than the team at Kane & Crowell to fight for your rights and provide representation you deserve. 615-784-4800.
Beginning Monday, December 4th, Walker Auction and Realty presents an online auction featuring great merchandise from the Bates Ford moving sale. The auction includes antiques and memorabilia, as well as lifts, racks, shop tools, tires, furniture, shelving, and much more. For more information or to bid on the Bates Ford online moving sale, visit MikeWalkerAuctions.com.
Partly sunny skies as we head through the day today, warming up to a high of about 53. Mostly clear skies overnight, that low well below freezing down to about 28, and sunshine 56 for Thursday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
And we continue. Welcome to Part 2 of Coleman & Company, our Wednesday. And at this time each Wednesday, we talk with representatives of Kane & Crowell PLLC. Law firm at 133 South College Street, the great Victorian house built in the 1800s. Angel Kane is with us this morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Welcome you again. Good to see you.
You too, yeah.
And you are busy.
We're super busy, super busy. The phones are always ringing. People are always coming in.
Well, the attorneys in your firm, you, Angel Kane, along with Amanda Crowell, the two of you pretty much started it. You have Mary Alice Carfey, you have Kayla Costley, Bryson Eubanks, and Lindsey Johnson. What a team.
Yes, I know. Fantastic team. Dream team.
What do you want to talk about this morning?
Well, it's the end of the year, so we are staying super busy right now. And one thing I thought I'd talk about that I don't know that we've touched on are mediations. That's where I'm headed after this interview this morning. I'm going to a mediation where I'll be representing someone with another mediator who will be a mediator who will be present and another attorney. And so we do a lot of mediations, and we actually have 2 Rule 31 mediators at our office. Both Mary Alice Carfey and Lindsey Johnson are mediators. So mediation is where you don't have to go to court, where you try to get together with a mediator. Your attorney is present, you're in different rooms, so you're never with your opponent, and then the mediator goes back and forth, and we try to settle the case rather than end up in court. So we do a lot of mediations as well.
So these two go back and forth then between the two parties.
Right. The mediator will go back and forth. And most people have their own attorney present as well. So you're in the room with your client, the other attorney is in the room with their client, and then the mediator goes back and forth trying to reach a resolution. And if we can reach a resolution, we'll sign all the papers, and then there'll never be court. The whole matter is settled.
Well, if you can do that, there has to be some give and take, doesn't it?
Sure. There's give and take in everything, but at least you're in control of the situation. You know, you're in charge of how this case is going to end. Whereas sometimes or often, if you can't reach a resolution, you will end up in front of a judge and he will have the final say so. So mediation, you're in control. If you want to settle the case under certain terms, you will leave that day with a full agreement. Much less expensive, obviously. You can do one day of mediation and the whole case is over rather than spending, a week in court.
Yeah, and then there's got to be some give and take, but you might not have to give as much in mediation if a judge rules totally.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's got to be brought out.
Yeah. Again, I always say, we've got very fair judges. They follow the law, but you never know. When you walk into court, someone else is going to make that decision that day when you leave, and you may not like that decision. So there is much more control in mediation, and you certainly can try it. And if it doesn't, if you don't like what the mediator is telling you or what the offer is, you can walk away. There's no obligation at mediation.
How often does that happen?
That we
in mediation, what percentage?
That we settle, maybe 50 to 60%. We have really good mediators in town. Very seasoned mediators, ones who've done it, hundreds of times. And those are the ones we pick. We get to pick the mediator. And so at our office, we pick certain mediators that we know have a good success rate, have a good rapport with our clients, and know the law and know the judge that we're going in front of. And so, I'd say 50 to 60%. Settle.
How do judges view that? Do they like that?
Oh, yeah. It is mandated. We are required to go to mediation before we set the trial. Oh. And, so our judges want us to save our clients money, to reach a reasonable resolution, to allow the clients to be part of that resolution. So, no, they favor mediations. But certainly if we can't settle, then our next option is court.
Well, I'm glad you explained that this morning.
Yeah.
But it is definitely an option.
Sure.
And it could save time and money.
Absolutely, that's the whole purpose.
Yeah. Okay, well that's one of many things that you do. You pretty much have family law and elder law.
Those are our 2 main areas. Yep, we cover both of those.
And of course, family law does include divorce and custody and child support and adoptions. There's quite a bit that pertains to that, and you're greatly involved all the time.
Right. So at our firm, 5 of us do domestic, and then myself and Bryson handle the estate work, and then Kayla handles all our probate and conservatorship. So between all of us, we'll have you covered.
As far as elder law and all of this, is December a busy time necessarily because it's the end of the year and that.
Sure. People are trying to, check off the boxes. They've been meaning to finish up their trust or their will. And honestly, now we're getting people who are thinking about their New Year resolutions. So they're wanting appointments early January. They've been meaning to, prepare their estate planning documents. So, our January calendar is filling up. So if that's something you're interested in working on, wills, power of attorneys, trusts, now is the time to call us to get onto our books for January so we can get you taken care of.
Well, I'm sure a phone call is answered promptly and handled well at 615-784-4800.
Yes.
But the website is a great place to find out a little bit more than we were able to talk about.
Right. Tons of information on our website.
www.kane-law.com.
Yes.
And no doubt that stays pretty busy, too.
Yeah, everything is busy at Kane and Crowell.
What about, you'll be here each Wednesday that we're here, and I guess we're here every Wednesday. We're not going to be here every Monday and Tuesday at the end of the year, but we'll see you next. But what about the end of the year as far as you have a little time off or you close the office much?
So we don't close the office. We'll take off a little time right before and right after Christmas. But no, there's always someone there, someone answering the phone, someone in the office. We try to, our clients need us all the time, so we try to be available for them.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
That is Angel Kane with Kane and Crowell PLLC, 133 South College Street, 615-784-4800. I've invited Karen Moore to be with us. Karen, if you don't mind going to my left here, the left is my better ear, and that's the reason I'm asking you to relocate, let's say. But it's always nice to have you to come out and tell us about 911. You've been the director there for a long time, and from time to time, there's some changes we need to talk about. And all I know is that I said, hey, I need a guest. You said I'll be there. And I don't know anything that's happened lately. So bring us up to date. And how are you, by the way?
I'm good.
All right. Good to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I believe it's been maybe April, May. I failed to go back and look and see the last time I was here. Yes, a lot has happened since I was here. We completed the co-location between Wilson County Emergency Management and the Wilson County Sheriff's Department and our 911 call takers up at the new Joint Communications Center. So took place on September the 13th. It's going better than I could ever imagine.
Really?
It's made me lonely because I'm still down on West Main, our administration office where we do the GIS mapping for the county as well as the addressing. So we're still off campus there, I'd say, because it is a campus building. It's a very large building. And of course, the weather that we had this weekend, it was the first time I felt truly comfortable because I know the building would withstand some of this weather that we've seen, unfortunately, in the other counties. But yes, it's going extremely well.
The transition period there. What was that like? Were there any real problems?
No, it went really smoothly. And one thing I told both administrators, folks at WEMA and the Sheriff's Department, I said, let's don't buckle it down so much. Those people sitting in those seats are good at what they do, and they can dot the I's and cross the T to make these calls flow better than we think that we can. Now, yes, I came from 18 years of doing it, so I do have some of the insight, but technology has changed so much, even since I've been there. I think my folks would say, oh, no, don't let Karen sit down and answer a call, but and we've advanced so much at Wilson County 911. We became the 12th in the state on that same cutover date to become what we call full-blown I3. And what that really translates to, it's a faster solution on getting the call. The people probably don't even realize it. When you used to pick up the phone and dial 911, you would get a click and a little bit of a delay. Now it's a straight-through circuit. And so it's just the technology on the back end that takes a lot of man hours and a lot more brain power than I'll ever have. But it also has allowed our telecommunicators to be able to get within, it used to be 50 meters. Now it's probably within 10 meters. So a call can come in and it can actually tell them, okay, this pinpointed in Mount Juliet, and a little light will light up for the color of Mount Juliet. So it's helped our call takers, especially when they get hit with a bunch of calls. Of course, you have to worry about, are they calling for somebody that's living in Lebanon? But the technology with Wilson County 911, we have always been in the top 10 out of the 100 districts.
Well, that's good to know. That's as we say, that's a feather in your cap.
It is. It is.
This change. You said you're a little bit lonesome down there on West Main Street, but you have some people in the office with you, I guess.
Yes. I have. We have our office assistant, which is mainly takes care of the financial side, the budget, but she also is doing GIS, and we have another young lady who is doing GIS. That's, because I would be failing the citizens as well as my district if I didn't start preparing for, an exit for me or for whenever. So we always, it's you never know when life is going to hit you that things are going to happen. So mapping is such a domineering thing and a necessary tool for call takers, not only our call takers, for dispatchers throughout Wilson County. And it takes a lot of effort into keeping that up to date with new addresses because our county is growing so much. So that's something that we usually have 2 or 3 people, and then we have another lady who is semi-retired. She comes in and helps keep us through all of our booking stuff through the state.
Okay, about time for us to take a break. Karen Moore, Director of 911, is with us this morning. We've got more to talk about here in a moment on Coleman and Company and 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Wanted to thank our friends at Bates Ford. Get a battery installed on most vehicles, $149.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Several accidents out here. 40 eastbound at 440's got traffic really slow over here on the west side. Trying to clean up this wreck on 24 going westbound at Bell Road. That's really slowing down that traffic up through Antioch. Keep that in mind if you're coming in from Rutherford County on 24 westbound. It's crawling up through there right now as we check it out live. Heavy traffic 65 south down through Madison. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is catering this holiday season. Check them out online, princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Elevate your possibilities with the wide selection of equipment from Harris Trading Company in Lebanon. Harris Trading offers sales and rentals on a large variety of construction and agricultural equipment. Golf carts, dump trailers, livestock trailers, skid steer attachments, utility trailers, and much more. See us for all of your rental and sales needs. Family owned and operated, conveniently located just south of the Watertown exit on I-40. Find Harris Trading online at harristradingcompany.com.
Beginning Monday, December 4th, Walker Auction and Realty presents an online auction featuring great merchandise from the Bates Ford moving sale. The auction includes antiques and memorabilia, as well as lifts, racks, shop tools, tires, furniture, shelving, and much more. For more information or to bid on the Bates Ford online moving sale, visit MikeWalkerAuctions.com. Good morning again. Welcome to our final segment of Coleman Company here on this Wednesday. We're glad to have you. We're certainly glad to have Karen Moore this morning, 911. As you said, it's been a while since you've been here, and I'm really glad to have you this morning. And we'll talk about your call takers are actually at the Sheriff's Department now?
Yes.
Okay. And now, you get all kinds of emergency calls. Somebody calls 911, wherever the emergency is. I mean, it might pertain to Mount Juliet, it might pertain to Watertown. It could be just about any kind of emergency. That's what 911 is for. So, if it pertains, say, to the city of Lebanon, that's one thing. If it pertains to the Sheriff's Department, explain how that's all set up.
Yeah, and really, even though that we're in the same room, there is still some internal transfers, you could say. The beauty of us being in the same room is that all the 911 consoles are live, sitting at 911, WEMA, or Sheriff's Department. the events of the tornado. If we would have had just 3 people sitting there, they can't handle all those calls. So there's an opportunity for WEMA and Sheriff's Department to also pick up and to assist us in answering calls. We're not rushing into doing any type of cross training or anything like that. That's something that will probably happen somewhere down the road. But if a call comes in, we can actually just look over our shoulder. Really, WEMA can hear everything that we're saying. And if they're not busy, a lot of times they'll just pick up on the call just to see if it's for them. And at that time, so that's saving not only seconds, but minutes. And they've heard what's going on. So there's a lot of good communication. Now with Lebanon and Mount Juliet, we are still having to transfer those calls. Once again, we are still throttling back how many calls we give them. If it's based on a wreck on the interstate, if there's 10 calls, we're only going to send them 1, unless there's additional information that's needed. With the city of Mount Juliet, they're using technology, which is, we're still working on a CAD adapter. CAD is computer aided dispatch. So that is something that I would love to see this entire county, all agencies have the same CAD. They don't have to see each other's information. It's all set out to where if Lebanon wanted Mount Juliet to see, or if Mount Juliet wanted Lebanon to see, or the Sheriff's Department, et cetera, they could control what is seen, and they could control what 911 sees. But the main thing is getting that call out to their dispatchers or even the responding units quicker. The city of Mount Juliet's being proactive we've been testing an adapter, and they love it when it works. When it doesn't, it causes a headache. But it allows the police officers in their police cars, or even their ambulance folks now in their fire department, to see that 911 just had a call. The call is at such and such North Mount Juliet Road. And so they see that before the call is actually even sent to Mount Juliet. So, technology is here, and it depends on if you're willing to use it or not. So that technology is a driving force throughout not only the state of Tennessee, but everywhere.
Well, are we where we need to be technology-wise, or are there some more advancements maybe that would be good to incorporate?
Yeah, there is. When I say we, Wilson County 911, there's not a whole lot we can do. I mean, if a new apple comes out there, we're going to bite at it, So as far as the other agencies, they all have different CAD systems, other than we do have a common CAD system, but I don't really want to get into it because it's a political issue there between us and the city of Lebanon that could make the calls flow a lot quicker and more efficiently. But that is something that we could open up a CAD. We did this for Mount Juliet for a while. Used their CAD. We opened their CAD. But it was hard for me to tell my people, you're going to have to enter your data not only into our computer aided dispatch software, but into Mount Juliet's. So that's the reason we've been experimenting with the CAD adapter. Because even though we moved away from opening up their CAD, Mount Juliet realized the benefits of getting that information from us as quickly as we can give it.
Well, how many people all together do you have working that you supervise at 911?
There's 17 total of us at Wilson County 911. 14 of those are call takers. We have a trainer, we have shift leaders, we have a supervisor, and then we have an IT. But they also are call takers. So their job is, our IT person, for example, his title is IT, but he's working second shift all this week. But he also, in the middle of that time, anything comes up that he needs to take care on the IT side, he's doing that while he's also working as a call taker.
When you started as a call taker, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
A long time ago.
Yep, for 18 years.
18 years ago?
I didn't know. I don't make me tell my age. I've been doing it for 32 and a half, so I did call taking for 18. I'm actually looking at this sign over here, and Susie, happy birthday, by the way, 30 years. But I was talking about the Christmas parade and the race car time. But, and then I went into GIS, did the mapping before I became the director.
Well, you've been a great servant, great public servant here, and I appreciate all you have done. And we've got to say 911 has come a long way from its beginning, but you've been there for most of this, if not all, right?
Yeah, I think just maybe 1 year, 1.5 years. We've seen the recording tapes go from half the size of this table to now to it's all cloud based. So it's a lot of advancement in the ability to get a call to the 911 center. That is, the state of Tennessee has always been the driving point when it comes to next generation 911. We can do videos now. We can have pictures sent to us. So there's a lot of stuff that's out there that a lot of people don't realize. Of course, text to 911 is a big thing, and people need to realize if you cannot call, text us, and those are starting to increase. It's one of those things. It's a tool for people if they're unable to speak because they feel threatened.
If somebody's going to text, what would they do? What would they text to?
Just 911. You just put it in like you do any type of text, but you just put in 911 and it'll come to us.
Well, if they can't talk,
if they can't speak,
then they ask the location. I mean, they type the text.
Yeah, we'll ask, and the beauty once again of the different equipment that we have, it'll plot once they text as well.
Well, we have come a long way.
We have.
You have you've been an integral part of this all this time, and I'm just wondering here how much longer you're going to be doing what you're doing. If you surely thought a little bit about that.
I have. The date is. I thought I was pretty set stone for next August, but that's out the window now. So I'm not sure. I'm serving on a couple of committees in the state of Tennessee, the financial as well as operational, and I'm enjoying it. So I think I'll just keep on trotting on a little bit longer, and we'll see where the chips fall.
You have a board, the 911 board, a number of citizens here who I guess you answer to, who pretty much set policy and have regular meetings and so on. And I know Larry Stone used to be one of those.
Yes, he did.
Deceased. You do have some changes on there from time to time. Is it 10, 12?
There's 9.
9, okay.
9, yep.
Has that been pretty much 9 all along, or?
It has been. Of course, the radio station, Fred Burton, he's on there. We missed him this past Monday. Yes, the board has really given me the ability, and I think it took us a while for them to realize, how in depth I study everything before I make a decision. I want it to be fair, not only for 911, but for the citizens. And the citizens is really my main concern, is not only getting that call to me, but helping our dispatchers, because look, this is not a longevity job for dispatchers and call takers. And I briefly mentioned Lebanon and the Wilson County Emergency Management just had 2 of their very best seasoned dispatchers to move into other positions at their agency. And kudos to them, because they were really good at what they did. And I'm sure they're going to be good at what they're going into. But it's mentally taxing. And one of them actually said they didn't realize how emotionally stressed they were until they got out of the position. And it takes a special person to become a call taker or a dispatcher.
Well, but you're adequately staffed. You don't really need any more right now?
Right now, we have one that's in training, and it looks like she's going to make it through. We had a hard time getting someone, and that was even for a full-time position. We've had to change our operations. We used to work with some part-time people, but people don't want part-time anymore. And it's hard to find anybody that wants weekends, that don't want weekends off. So it's changing.
Well, but people who work for you have the same benefits, I believe, as their county employees. Is that right?
Unfortunately, that changed a couple of years ago, and we're working on that. That's kind of a sore subject when it comes to some retirement benefits.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, as we say, we have come a long way, but technology has advanced so much too. One thing we've got a couple of minutes here. We've talked about the funding of this. I believe everybody pays a little bit with their telephone bill, cell phone, landline, whatever you have that funds you. Is that right?
That's it. That's the $1.50. Now, the cell phone company may charge you $2, and they keep the 50 cents saying they have to administrative that out. But yes, and we get only a certain portion of that. It all goes into the state, and the state bases it on a funding model set back in 2012, which I mentioned that I serve on the financial committee, and that's something I'm working to try to get it better level, because our rate was based because our board was good stewards of the people's money. They didn't raise the rate. And so that really ended up crippling us. We got a smaller percentage, and hopefully we can make amends on that coming up. So we get no local funding. There's only 3 emergency communications districts throughout the state of Tennessee 100 that receives no local funding, and we're one of those.
Well, is that something that might take place, is going to need to be in the near future?
It depends on how things move through the state. I wouldn't be surprised once I'm gone. Yeah, I mean, and it's because we tried some direct dispatch for a couple of the different agencies, but we had to also add additional staffing to make sure we had enough people to dispatch those calls out. And when it came time to sign the mutual of understanding and ask for a little funds, they decided to go do their own thing. I mean, we can't do it free. That's what's gotten a lot of the 911 centers in trouble. They started off and to call taking and dispatching, realized quickly they needed more local funding.
Is politics involved in this to some extent?
Is it? Yeah, it is. The sun's shining.
but you're working on it.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it like that. Karen, I thank you so much for being with us this morning. I think we pretty much got caught up here, and I'll try not to wait that long to have you back, but thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
That is going to do it for Wednesday. Karen Moore, Director of 911 here, and a lot of good information this morning, and we thank her. We thank you for listening. We hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Thursday edition, and until tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day.